Greetings, Blood Bowlers, and welcome back to a brand new episode of All or Nuffle. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's going to be a quick episode, this, because we've not really got out on this week, have we? We've nothing to talk about, so we're just going to, sort of say hello and then bye straight away, aren't we?
Yep. I think so, yeah.
See you later, guys. Bye. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate listening to all those episodes. Yeah, as a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, the reality is that we have got something on, and we're all very excited about it. We are attending the Full Beard Cup at the weekend, along with 11, 12 other nomads, including ourselves, or excluding ourselves, sorry. Yeah, we're very excited, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm shitting myself right now.
Oh, is he alone? Is he? He weren't shitting his 10 last time once he got into the swing of it. He'll be all right, won't he, Gary?
He'll be absolutely fine, won't he? And for those people that don't really understand what Baz just said, then I'll translate the Yorkshire speak for you. He'll be okay, won't he? Yes, he will be okay, Baz. Yeah.
What did I say?
He'll be right, won't he?
I said he'll be all right, won't he, Gary?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that one don't need a translation. I'm willing to concede some shit does, but that one don't. Like I've told you before, the worst person you can ask to check if something is in a tin for you is somebody from Yorkshire, because they'll say, if it's not there, they'll say tin tin tin.
What?
Steve? Right,
Oh,
Steve. Steve, you...
It ain't in tin.
Right, yeah, exactly. It int means it isn't. So it int is it isn't.
I apologise to all the listeners of the podcast normally. We are going to be particularly chaotic today on this episode because we're all stupidly excited about going to Blood Bowl competition at the weekend.
Listen,
that's the most chaotic opening that we've ever had to an
Who says it's over? Oh dear! And I tell you what, let's get even more chaotic. Let's kick off with the stuff that everyone's here for. We've had a shit ton of chat about biscuits in Nomads lately, haven't we?
Oh my god!
What?
I can't
Seriously?
believe that we're actually going to say, look, you know what? We're not going to tell you what we're going to talk about this week. We're going straight into biscuits.
What I can't understand is, so Nomads has been a thing since February, so what we're talking, 8 months?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, about 8 months. And we have had an influx of members recently, and we've been really lucky that the influx of members we've had recently are really active, really chatty, and constantly engaging. But my God, I have never, ever left my phone for half an hour and come back to 300 messages, and it all being about biscuits.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's not just you. Like,
I asked the question initially, didn't I?
What a set of boring bastards, though, to spend 300 messages talking about biscuits.
Not at all. It was a heated discussion on the whys and wherefores of what the best biscuit is. And I think it's quite important that when you're in a community, you sort of need to know what your fellow community members' biscuit choices and preferences are. I think it's vital.
I do actually agree, to be fair. You can tell a lot about a person by the biscuit choice. Like, if you said to somebody, hi, my name's Baz, and they say, hi, I'm James. I'm like, what's your favourite biscuit? And they say Garibaldi. I'll fucking turn around quicker than you can imagine. I won't be speaking to them if they like a Garibaldi.
But
you can
trust them,
fuck
can
off. You can take a Garibaldi.
Like Garibaldi, but they're not in my.
No!
They're not in my top 10. They're not in my top 10. They wouldn't even make my top 20.
Oh,
like
no. Garibaldi. No. I mean, it could be worse. You could like fig rolls.
I like fig rolls as well.
Oh, my God. He needs putting on a register immediately.
So, okay,
No.
wait a second, right? So
Hang
let's
on,
just have some
hang
context around this, right? The guy that...
Go on.
I was going to say, the guy that had joined at the time, and we must have, poor bloke, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the many people that was joining at the time. And I just said, welcome along, what's your favourite biscuit? And he caught up and answered and said thanks for all the welcomes and all of that sort of stuff. And then other people started saying, well, yeah, but that's a good solid choice. But what about this biscuit? Do you like that? And all of a sudden, the chat was alive, wasn't it? I think you came back to 200 plus. I think it only goes up to 99 plus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
remember.
when you click on the chat at the bottom of the screen, it tells you how many unread messages, and there were like 287.
And all we were talking about, Steve, was just your favourite biscuits.
Yeah.
And there's a real cross-section of people that like different biscuits. So we thought, actually, so we carried on the conversation as Baz came back and was like, I've been left out and I want to join in now. So, and as you can imagine,
I did. It's not a lie.
In his normal way, he was really, really rude to those people that like Gary Baldy's and Fig Biscuits, and he was really, 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 really welcoming and appreciative of those people that liked all the biscuits he liked.
Yeah. So just
but then we moved it forward. Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, so what are the biscuits? What are the biscuits that you guys like, or should I just
we'll
start
talk
with
about
what
that in a second.
Right, I have got a very controversial one, because I think that 99.9% of the biscuits I like are pretty, like, no one would really argue with, because they're kind of like the mainstream biscuits.
Yeah.
However, I've got one that I think people will go, oof. I like a rich tea finger.
So would it make your top 10 list?
Probably
Would you
not.
Just like them.
Probably
like,
not.
Gary Baldy isn't anywhere near my top 20. I'll eat one.
I think the reason I like them, I think I like them because they're the biscuits that my nana had in house as a kid.
Oh.
See,
So
no,
if it weren't for that,
who knew you had a soft inside, eh?
soft, gooey interior, sorry. Well, and exterior, to be fair.
So what are the general biscuits you like then? What's the list of things that
right,
just...
I am a massive fan, and they come in the packet, but then they come in like a little plastic tray. The Fox's cookies.
The circle ones?
Yeah, with the great big chunky chocolate chips in. Whoa! Dipped in a brew, change your life. Change your life. I'm a big fan of them. Are they the ones
that come laid down in pairs, or the ones that are stood up on their edges?
No, I know which ones you're on about, laid down in pair. They are absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I'm on about them ones that come in like a row.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I really like any of those biscuits.
Fucking hell, Gary! Oh my God! Is that from today?
They're from me painting things. So I collect those things. They're perfect for painting. So what you do is you put your little project in there.
Yeah. You've had 6 packets of Fox's cookies today, Gary. Don't lie. What about you, Steve? Have you got
breakfast?
Have you got a shining star in the biscuit world, Gary? Steve, God.
See, I don't know. I'm going out on left field here because I'm Irish, believe it or not. So mine actually, I don't know if you guys ever heard. That's it now, sure, I like it. But did you ever hear? I don't know if you guys ever dealt with jam mallows or Kimberley biscuits. Have you ever heard of those?
Fucking what?
Jam mallow and Kimberley. I'm actually trying to see if I can get pictures of it, and I want people to
Sorry. Bear with me a second. I'm just figuring out how to boot somebody out of podcast recording.
a jam mallow.
Jam mallow. So, and this is even worse. It's got coconut on it as well.
Mallow.
Tell you what. Now, this is what happens when a country that relies on potatoes so much has a potato famine. This is when they start creating fucking mental shit.
Apologise for Baz's racist behaviour there, and everyone who's Irish.
But see, now we haven't even. I mean, this is a different topic, and we take it on another one. But crisp potatoes are the king of all crisps, like
Oh, now I have heard that. I haven't tried them, but I have heard that. To be fair.
But no, we'll go on to
what was the other one? A Kimberley biscuit.
A Kimberley biscuit, and I think they're Jacob's Kimberley and jam mallow. So, but again, I think that comes back from what you said, Baz, about. That's when I used to go to Ireland all the time and see the grandparents. There was tins of the stuff, and there was a cup of tea, and you had a couple of Kimberleys or jam mallows and stuff like that, So it was those ones, and they also had another one which is called an Elite Chocolate Kimberley, which is a Kimberley. But
Oh
with
my
chocolate
god,
all
that sounds like a really cheap hooker name.
An elite Kimberley.
An elite Kimberley, but yeah, no. So out on left field, if tomorrow, if someone said you could have this or you could have that, I'd have them all the time. But if we're coming back over to England, I'm actually a malted milk.
Oh, people are going to slag you off, but I fully agree. People are going to rip you to pieces, Steve. But I tell you now, you're a man of taste. I'm telling you now.
It's one of those when you don't get them.
Baz has said it. He's called it.
But when you
I'm
get
telling
them,
you.
they're a hidden gem. Those ones, they're a hidden gem.
Yeah, I like. Well, controversial how you say the name. I'm convinced it's Nice after the place in France,
Nice,
but some
yeah.
people say it's Nice biscuits.
Yeah.
Like them, big fan of them. What else?
These are
we
really,
got?
really, really scraping the bottom of the barrel of acceptable biscuits. They're in the acceptable pile, but there's so many more better biscuits than those.
Hang on a minute. Just stop speaking for a second, Gary. Me and Steve are scraping the barrel, but you revealed to us that you enjoy a Garibaldi not 10 minutes ago.
You asked me if I liked one. I would eat one, but they're not anywhere in my top list.
No, that's not good enough. What I want you to say is, if it touched my tongue, I'd be sick.
I wouldn't.
Do you know what's mad?
And I tell you what, you think you fucking know a guy.
Just take. So what's your view on ginger nut?
Oh god, I do. I like a ginger nut. I like a ginger nut. Good for if you've got a dicky tummy as well. That
Apparently
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
apparently. Oh,
So we've got a
this-
controversial one. This is
Oh.
gonna just. I know. I'm sorry. A penguin. Is it a biscuit?
No, the shit. The shit. The chocolate inside a penguin tastes like the same quality of chocolate you get in a 30p advent calendar.
You got chocolate in your advent calendars. I just had one of those flaps that just opened up with it. No chocolates in there. We reuse the same calendar every year. That's what we did.
Just get a bit of an orange peel. So what's some of the other biscuits? What's our top 5 biscuits? And it doesn't have to be your hard and fast top 5, but what would make it into if there was a plate of if there was a table full, a buffet of biscuits, what would be you one you'd go for?
I think we would be remiss if we didn't admit, although it'll be a little bit boring and bog standard, but the certainty and quality of a chocolate digestive.
Yeah,
It's got to be in the top 5 of everybody, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's not. There's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing special, but you know you're going to get a biscuit that can withstand a dip in a brew, good quality chocolate. Do you know what I mean? It's just. It's
And
a
you'll always
solid.
go for a second one.
Yeah, correct. It's reliable. So it automatically is in top 5 for
We
everybody.
can agree on that. Definitely.
1,000%. 100%.
It's also.
I do like an unchocolated digestive as well. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, they're an easy they're an easy tea dunking biscuit. You don't have to think about it. Whereas if you have a rich tea, you take your eye off it for a second, it's gone. Like So
Game over.
It's a risk.
So it's an easy biscuit. You don't have to worry about it. And it's
What
reliable.
about the classic bourbon and custard cream?
I fucking love a bourbon. I will go to war over a bourbon.
Top 5?
Top 2.
Ooh,
I fucking love a bourbon, mate.
nice.
I think a
Nice.
bourbon beats a custard cream every day at week.
Wow.
But he hates a penguin, which is basically a chocolate covered bourbon.
Because they cover it in cheap chocolate. They take the beauty that is a bourbon and cover it in cheap shit chocolate.
Ah, dear.
That's the problem I've got.
It's like a big oxymoron, this is, isn't it? What do I like? I tell you, we were talking about the Fox ones earlier on.
Yes.
You know the ones that come in pairs, and there are 8 biscuits in them. They're a long thing. There's on top of each other in pairs. They're like rings.
And the ones with
rings,
they're covered in really thick chocolate.
Is it?
Oh, I think that's up there in my top 2.
Is it French or German ones? It's the same kind of one. Comes in a packet, but it's got the chocolate on top, and you kind of bite off the edges of it.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. With pictures of Eiffel Tower and shit on.
Yes.
Yep.
So those ones.
Yeah, now they are posh biscuits, them.
But the thing is, you pay too much for what they are. You know, you're buying chocolate bars. You're not buying biscuits. Like, you know, it's the money you pay for it. But if you're feeling a little fancy, you know, if you're wearing the dicky bow and you want to have a cup of tea, you know, they're the ones to go for.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be, you know, I know this is really just us three having a chin wag, and we apparently have just switched the camera on, right? And there isn't anybody going to be listening to this at all, because people don't in their hundreds at all. But, right, do we think that we ask the audience whether or not biscuit-related topics need to be discussed again in future episodes, or do we just discuss them?
Yeah.
I've got a plan. I don't know if you want to hear my plan.
But yeah, go on, man. Go on. Yeah.
I think we should have. I think every week, every podcast, we should have a head-to-head of 2 random biscuits, and we should discuss for a couple of minutes and pick between the 3 of us which one wins and goes through to the next round. And we'll have a first round of every biscuit that we can think of, including the Kimberley and the Elite Kimberley, and anything else that anybody wants to put in. And what we'll do is we'll get through to sort of like a last 8 of like best ever biscuits that we like.
We're doing a Biscuit World Cup, aren't we, Gary?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm completely on
The
board.
other suggestion that the community, the Nomads community, asked for was some Blood Bowl related stuff.
All right. Okay.
You know, is like, what's a war dancer? What kind of biscuit would a war dancer be?
Well, there's one that is very apparent straight away, although I'm not sure which player you'd give it to. But the Jammy Dodger has to go to any player with the dodge skill. Purely, it just works too well. I'd be annoyed if we did anything else with Jammy Dodger. Personally.
A dodgy, titchy player, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah, okay.
One to think on.
Foxes.
Well, they go to them Gnomes Fox players, don't they?
Yeah, I reckon.
As simple as that. Garibaldi's Nurgle. Because they're fucking disgusting.
But Papa Nurgle always looks out for you. Papa Nurgle's always looking out for you there, so, you know, there's a bit of fruit in there for you.
And what we could do is when we get to the final biscuit in the final and we talk about it and we decide which is the best biscuit according to the All or Nuffle podcast, we could call that Nuffle's Biscuit. It could be crowned. And we could
approach the company that produces them and urge them to change the name.
I would love to make a mascot out of the best biscuit, like, you know, do a cartoon mascot out of the best biscuit, for the shirts or whatever, like, you know.
a team of all of the of like the quarterfinalists or even the round of 16, a team of all of those biscuits.
Nice.
Because Baz loves a proxy team, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. I would do if it were biscuits, mate. And Lord knows, as soon as a player dies, it don't go into the fucking dugout, it goes straight in my gob, mate.
Regeneration. So we're talking a little bit about Blood Bowl.
Technically, we're easing into it.
Blood Bowl.
But as fun as it is to keep talking about biscuits, I think we probably should talk some Blood Bowl, shouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. What are we going to talk about, Baz?
I think we just have a little bit of a discussion about what teams we're taking to Full Beard Cup, what we've done with as rosters, bits and pieces like that, what we're expecting for the weekend, or are we expecting anything at all? You know, just a little bit of a Full Beard Cup run-up, I suppose, like a build-up to it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before we do that, what I do just want to quickly do, if he's even stayed to listen long enough past all that biscuit chat, just want to do a quick shout out to Gary, not this Gary, another Gary, because we've got a few Garys in Nomads. But we got a comment on last podcast from a fellow Nomad by the name of Gary, who mentioned that he had binged all of the episodes of the podcast in quick succession recently. And he mentioned that his newborn baby had been not very well, and that through quite a difficult time, listening to us idiots were a welcome distraction. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for listening, Gary, and thank you very much for your lovely feedback. It's nice to know that just chatting shit helps people.
Just at least one person is listening.
Yes.
At least the other 299 listeners are my mum.
And my mum.
But yeah, anyway, now we've given Gary a little shout out. Let's get into some details about Full Beard Cup. First of all, what team is everybody taking? What about you, Gary?
Humans for me.
Humans. Are you're using Full Beard Cup as a bit of a last hurrah?
Final goodbye. They're going
Right,
on the
okay.
shelf.
Right.
I've even made a decision on what my next team's going to be.
Oh, I believe I know what that is. That's the team that I'm taking to Full Beard Cup, isn't it? So I'm taking I'm taking Amazons.
Nice.
My story arc with Amazons is I bought them on pre-order when they came out, painted them, did put a lot of work into the paint. Like I'm quite comfortable saying it's probably the paint job that I actually put the most effort and time into to try and get it really good. Played 2 games with them and absolutely hated them, and I've spent 2 years slagging them off, saying the shit. But recently I've decided to give them a second chance, and I've found a little bit of a groove with them, and I think I'm playing more to them rather than trying to make them play to my play style. I've had quite a few practice games, really enjoying them, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on next weekend. So what about you, Steve? We did a couple of polls in Nomads and Spotify, and I don't think either of them have even chased to see what results were, but I think they might know because you've put a couple of pictures on your work in progress, haven't you, mate?
So no, I am taking the Wood Elves. So I've got the Wood Elves here, which I'm taking with me. So which are painted in the Nuffle Nomads colours. So they're in the black,
Nice.
yellow, and gold. But only one of them is painted at the moment, so I've got 5 days to paint the rest of them. So so that's gonna be fun.
We'll edit that bit out.
Yeah.
I've literally got evenings, so literally after this podcast, I got to get all the red on them. That's the plan tonight. Get all the red on them, and then every night I'm trying to do stuff, and then also going through my list, I realised I have a tree man I haven't even primed yet or built. He's still in the box. So I've got a fun week ahead of myself. So.
That's a lovely model to paint that as well.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
I like that model.
Yeah,
it is.
So,
I enjoy painting it.
So that's what I'm taking.
So if it's with your sort of last goodbye to Humans, Gary, have you in terms of your roster, have you stuck to the things that have really worked in your time playing Humans, or have you tried something different, with it being your last time, or are you sticking to what you know?
As is always the way with me, I'm going to give you a longer answer than expected. When I started playing with Humans, I was on the back of a run with Lizards and previous to that Orcs, where I just couldn't get a win at a tournament. I just couldn't get a win. And somebody said, you need to go more Edge. And I just... Playing against those Edge teams with my Lizards and my Orcs, I really sort of almost detested them. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a go. I'm gonna have a go, but I'm just gonna do Humans. And lo and behold, after a couple of tournaments, I was playing with them. I got a win. I changed my blooming NAF name, didn't I? Because I'm an idiot. And I tried all sorts of different setups, different rosters, different skill packs, played around with a whole bunch of various different skills. And I think what I've done is a really, really, really boring approach to Humans, whereby I've gone, you know what, this is probably the best human roster I could pick for. So there's going to be no surprises. But from what I've learned and all of the things I've tried, I've gone strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not learning them anymore, and I'm not even throwing caution to the wind. I've just gone solid, reliable skills, really boring, and a really good, I think, a really good roster.
What tier of Humans are there? 2?
They're 2,
So
which is scandalous, isn't it?
You've been able to dish out 8 skills then for
8
Full
skills
Beard
or 1,200. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all get 1,200 regardless of tier, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I thought I'd built my team wrong then. So
what tier are Amazons?
Amazons are tier 1.
Right, and Wood Elves?
1.
Tier 1. So me and Steve, we're getting 6 skills, whereas you're getting 8, and then I think tier 3 get 10. Or skill points, should I say.
Yeah.
So what sort of skills have you gone for then, Gary, if you've gone strong? I would imagine there's some Mighty Blow in there, maybe some Guard.
No Mighty Blow.
Oh yeah, we had the discussion of a day that you've sort
Yeah,
of like you've left Mighty Blow behind.
I know this sounds really, really silly, and I don't know if it's a human thing or maybe people can let me know, right? Bearing in mind, I've played quite a few teams once or twice, but I've only played 3 teams, Orcs, Lizards, and now Humans, multiple times, in double figures times. I think I'm up to sort of about 20, 30 games with Humans. And Mighty Blow, just every time I've tried it, it just doesn't do anything for me. It's really not necessarily situational, but it's the payback on it isn't, you don't get it as much. And that might be because I'm maybe blitzing with the wrong player or whatever. They always had the best success. I always look back in my human sort of run. The best success I ever had is when I had 4 guard on my blitzers. Now, a lot of that was because I don't have the skill to be able to put 2 guard on blitzers and have them in the right places where I need them. So having 4 was complete spam of guard. So I've gone 2 guard on the blitzers. I've gone with the 4 blitzers because that's what you do with Humans.
Yeah,
I've gone
absolutely.
2 guard and guard on my ogre. So I've got 3 guard in total. And then with the other 2 blitzers, I was going to go Mighty Blow and Tackle, but I've gone Mighty Blow, and then I was going to go Tackle and Tackle, but I've gone Tackle and Strip Ball.
Solid choices. Strip. I mean, I think
never ever used Strip Ball before.
I think we're going to end up having a little bit of a conversation about Strip Ball when Steve gets to his team, because he's been mulling over the idea of one of them on his War Dancer, if I remember correctly.
And then I've controversially gone with only 1 thrower, where all the time I've been playing Humans, I've played 2.
Yeah.
And I've gone 3 catchers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's not interesting for me.
Fancy trying. It's something I fancy trying.
I've always played with just 1 thrower. Well, I say always, but obviously my last main team were Wood Elves, and I went to 1 thrower originally out of necessity because I'd broken the second miniature, so I was making do with 1. But then by the time I ordered a single and had another thrower available, I was so used to it. I got used to giving them a skill to make them a bit more, give them a bit of survivability, because you've only got 1, they're going to be a target.
Block on that one.
Exactly. I just got used to making sure I weren't risking them too much, and then I'd find that I'd have, an extra 20k spare on my roster that I was using for stuff I would have rather had than bringing in that second thrower. So yeah, it's not an alien concept to me, that, mate. That's just the way I've always done it. So I think it sounds like a good roster.
Of the 3 catchers, I've gone with 2 more block.
2 more.
One catcher hasn't got a skill, and then I've got 4 linemen and a halfling. So I've got a bench of 2.
Yeah. How many rerolls you got on that, Gaz?
75. No. I got 3 rerolls and a keg. And a
solid.
Coke.
Solid. That's a very solid roster, that, mate. Very solid. Are you going to be bold enough to try and predict your record for the weekend?
So 5 games, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if you want to predict it as in predict exactly what it is, or say what you would be happy with as a minimum.
That'd probably be better. If I get 005, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. I would really like, because I've now won 3 games in tournaments. I've never had a positive record yet. I would be over the moon with a positive record. Just a positive overall. So but if I can get, I'll be disappointed if I don't get a win. If I can get 2 wins, or even a win and 3 draws, I'd be really happy with that. Yeah, I'd like a positive record. I don't think I'm going to get one. I know that I know how to to play, but I'm not. It's going to be a good tournament. I think there's going to be some good players.
Yeah, probably is, to be fair. I mean, I've said this to you multiple times, Gary. I genuinely can't believe that I'm taking a tier 1 team and I've been able to take what I've been able to take. It feels broken. So for 1.2 million team value, I've been able to take 2 of every positional, which is the maximum you can take. 6 line women, which leaves me with 1 spare on the bench. 4 re-rolls and 2 Bloodweiser kegs for bang on 1.2 million. That feels so broken.
That's lovely.
I've got to realise as well that my entire team's got dodge, so I'm not going to be using re-rolls on dodgers.
Yeah.
So that it feels a bit unbalanced.
What's the edge on Amazons?
3+ across the board.
3+. So you're sort of going to need the dodge more than you are a 2+. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, interesting one. In terms of skills, I played around with it a lot. Because what you've got to realise is with Amazons, because everybody's got dodge, the moment you give anybody block, you gain a blodger. So, in theory, I could have spammed block 6 times and given myself 6 blodgers. But I didn't. I wanted a little bit more versatility. So I went with, in the end, I got rid of Mighty Blow, very much, like you did, Gary. And I put guard on both of my blockers, which are the strength 4 pieces on the Amazon team. I gave both the blitzers block to turn them into blodgers.
They don't have block?
No.
Blitzers. Right, okay.
No, so I gave them both block to make them. They have, by default, dodge, jump up, and their bespoke skill, hit and run, the one where you can move after blitzing. Like, you can, after blocking, you can take 1 free movement away. And then I went for accurate on one of my throwers and sure hands on one of my throwers. So I've gone double block on blitzers, double guard on blockers, which is confusing to say, and sure hands on one thrower and accurate on another. So I figured plenty of assists with the guard, bit of survivability on the people who are likely to be doing catching, if any, and I could have, if I wanted, gone accurate cannoneer on throwers to have both long and short passes covered, but I just envisioned having a repeat Davitational where I just can't pick up the ball. So I went for sure hands.
Still not going to be able to pick up the ball.
No, yeah. It doesn't fucking guarantee anything, does it, mate? It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I've gone for. I'm pretty happy with it. I did some testing before. Again, I tried Mighty Blow like you did, Gary, and I think the thing is, and I think I said this to you guys, that people really, really like Mighty Blow and take it all the time because they only really remember the times where it's really paid off and they managed to kill that player with a double 6 or whatever on injury roll. So it sticks in people's minds. Would that class as recency bias, Gary?
Recency bias, or is it a sort of frequency bias? One of the two, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit psychological at the minute.
It's almost it's almost like the old I forgot what they call it, and I should know this as a statistician or a pretend one anyway. When you're at the supermarket and you join a queue, and you always remember when your queue is not going very fast. It's almost as if every queue you join doesn't go very fast because you don't remember the ones where they go fast. It's almost like that, I think. Yeah. That's
why I decided to ditch that, and I figured a little bit of guard to boost everyone else's strength a little bit. I definitely wanted some blodgers, which is why the blitzers got block. And yeah, I definitely want to have a go at a little bit of passing, but I don't think Cannoneer would have been the right choice because I'd probably not been throwing long passes or long bombs. It's probably just going to be pinging little passes, 5 or 6 squares or whatever. I think.
Where's your line? What do you think you would be comfortable with, disappointed with?
I'd be well, based off of the last tournament being Davitational, I'd be happy with an even record. Three. Well, not an even record, but two wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Something a bit symmetrical, something like that. So yeah, nice. Not holding out too much hope. Going in with not a new team, but a team that I'm relatively new with. So yeah, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
nice.
So what about you? What about you then, Steve? Do you want to talk us through what you decided to take with your 1.2 million?
Yeah, I'm not coming now. No, so yeah, I'm going to. So I've got Wood Elves, and as I read into it, and obviously haven't played them yet, but I read into them, I do find quite a juicy team. I'm going with 2 wall dancers, 2 catchers, 1 thrower, 1 tree man, and the rest are linemen, but only up to the 11. So I've only got 11 players. I haven't got any subs or anything like that.
No bench.
So that's it. So and the reason being is, to be fair, speaking to you, Baz, is about the extra stuff. I was looking at taking an apothecary, but you're saying kegs, and because it's a revive tournament, like, you know, it makes more sense because it reduces that roll down, doesn't it, from a 3+ down to 4+. Is it? Yeah, 4+ down, isn't it, to a 2+ to get back on the pitch.
Yeah.
So I just makes sense it does. So again, that's just to get players back on the pitch because they are weak, and I'm going to get people bashed around the place a bit, like, you know. So it's that. As for skills, so the wall dancers are blodgers with leap already. One of them I'm giving strip ball. The other one I'm stuck onto what to give. I think we were chatting about stuff. I was chatting about dauntless was one of the skills I was looking at giving them, just to give them a little bit more. But then I just don't know. I don't even know. I might even give double strip ball. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck what to give him, the extra war dancer, as a skill. But he's going to get skill.
Yeah.
The catchers, they've got catch and dodge. I've given them blocks, so they're blodgers as well. Just survivability, just trying to make them live longer. And then the treeman, I'm giving guard, just because for what it's used for whatever it can do, you know, just to be able to add a little bit more defense on that line of scrimmage, you know, just anything is a bit of a halting line, you know, or just knock around in the middle of the park, like, you know, do something in there. And then the last one is onto the thrower. I'm stuck between accurate pass, cannoneer, or leader. They're the 3 ones I'm looking at there.
How many rerolls have you got already, Steve?
I've got 2 rerolls. That's why leaders come back into it.
Ooh.
So leader gives me
interesting.
Leader gives me that extra 1, but with the edge and the passing, I've got edge is 2+, all this kind of stuff, and 4 guys are blodgers as well. Is, do I go for the extra reroll, or do I go for the and part of me is literally going, I want to play a throwing game, and I want to spread around the pitch, and I also haven't got a freaking clue what I'm doing either, and I want to go out and have fun.
Have you got sure hands?
No, I haven't got sure hands.
You don't need it. Two plus, isn't it, across board on what else?
No, I'm just thinking about options. If you're playing a throwing game, have you got sure hands? Have you got pass? And have you got catch?
So I've got pass and catch.
Have you got that holy trinity of catching?
So no, I have. The only one I haven't got is sure hands. I've got the other ones there. So sure hands. What's sure hands?
That's where you get.
Said, as a 2s, it's one of those, isn't it? But then if you get a 1, and you've got to burn a reroll, and you've only got 2, you've then got to think about: do I want to use my reroll? Is the ball safe?
True.
So then that does feed into, is leader maybe the one?
I think leader's the one personally. I don't think 2 rerolls is enough personally for this. It is. It absolutely is. And generally, I only really ever play with 2 rerolls, but I try to get more or as many as I can when it comes to a tournament. Definitely, just because you never know what's going to happen from game to game, and you're playing that many games in quick succession. You know, you could have a really good game where you don't use any, but then next game you might burn through them in first 2 turns. So I think leader's probably a really good choice on one of them throwers, Steve. To be fair, mate.
So that's it. So literally, I'm thinking War Dancer for it's those last ones. But yeah, I am leaning to the extra reroll. I am. But I think
I would. Yeah.
I think what I might do is see what Friday night brings, because I will try. You know, because we're going to have some. We're going to mess around with some stuff, and I'm going to try some throwing games and see how things go. You know, and just have some fun with it, like because yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Like, you know, it's never played the team, got to finish painting them yet. But yeah, it's going to be. I'm more looking forward to going with this team, especially with what my experience is. I definitely think they're a lot more forgiving in quite a few different areas, and I think are going to lean to the play style that I've recently found that I seem to like. So I'm looking forward to it. So it should be good fun. As regards how I want to score, if I can get at least 1 win or draw, I'm happy. That's That's where I'm sitting at the present moment. Because I lost every
There's
other
a few
game.
new players going. There is
is
quite a few new players. So a few of the Nomads guys. I know one of them. This is only their second ever tournament, and one of them this is only their first ever proper tournament.
Well, then I better beat them then.
Yeah.
Well, if any of us are down on the bottom table on game 5, then you're pretty much squeaky bum time. You're hoping this is the 2 worst players of the weekend playing against each other. I better get a win.
Yeah.
Hey, here's an idea that I had today, actually. Not necessarily just for Full Beard Cup, but in general. And I've literally not even spoken to you in private about this, Gary, but I was thinking about starting a new channel in Nomads that everybody can join and view, but not type in, and only the admins can type in, and have it be trophy cabinet, and then every time a Nomad wins any sort of award at a tournament, we post it in there, so it's like a bit of a living history of stuff that Nomads have won at tournaments.
There's going to be so many wooden spoons.
Sounds like a lovely thing.
we can put Gary's straight in there. First entry.
Wow.
So what's the Nomads good at? Collecting wood.
It's over there.
I can see it. It's right there. Brilliant. But yeah, I thought that'd be a really cool idea. Just be able to, when Nomads is 2 or 3 years old, be able to look back and see when Nomads have won silverware, so to speak.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm really looking forward to just meeting everyone. It's the first time. I mean, when I went to that Bugman's with you, Baz. It was great fun because I met a couple of people there, and we met a few more. And it was a nice little thing. I'm going to feel like it sounds bad, but like in the right little clique, like, hey, look at us, like, there's 13, 14 of us.
Do you remember, Baz?
I know what you're going to say. Don't say it. I know what you're going to say.
Don't say
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay. Just got to say it now,
You were going to say, can you remember post Bugman's when we were taken aback by the amount of people who were in cliques, like wearing the matching shirts and stuff like that? Exactly. I knew it. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
We have become that thing.
We have become it.
But
And we're using fucking dice cups as well.
I know. I mean, fucking. I remember you. I remember going up there.
Over my dead body, will I use a dice cup?
I mean, I remember you going, look at these guys with the fucking dice cups, like,
I think, you know what? I'm not even going to try and save face. I did exactly like that. Steve came up to me and asked me how I were getting on, and I totally ignored his question. Just went, "What the fuck is with everybody using fucking dice cups? What's that all about?" and now I own 3 or 4.
Yeah, episodes 13, 14, 15 was around about where we were talking, because that's when I joined, and I was very taken aback by him as well. And the problem is when you try a dice cup, you don't go back, do you?
No, it's
Really
I think
weird.
the biggest benefit of them that I've come to realise is that the amount of times where before, when I were rolling dice, knocking my opponent's miniatures over and having to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that," but you put it in cup, you slam it down, and just to remain exactly where you put your cup down. That's the thing that I've come to really like about them. Definitely.
For me, it's the randomness. There's so many times where I've rolled dice and it rolls off a 6 onto a 3, and you're like, "Oh," or it rolls off that 3 onto a 1, and you're like, "Oh, for crying out loud!"
But you just don't see
So now I can't see what it settles on. When I take it off, it's the big reveal, and that's what it is. Sometimes, to be fair, you do lift it up and you knock with the dice. But it's just after you've taken it off, it's whatever it's.
Yeah.
And it's the randomness as well of shaking the dice.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people that sort of. You could suggest, and even the fact that you can suggest it, that they're maybe not rolling their dice as much as many, rolls as possible.
Well,
and it might get
not just that, Gary. But you do hear stories of people even fudging dice cup rolls a little bit. I'm not going to get into any specifics, but you hear stories all the time of people. I've seen it myself where they'll put the dice in the cup and you see them wiggle it until the result they want to not get, the opposite of what they want, is facing them, so that hopefully they can slam it down. It'll just hit straight
Some
onto,
sort of consistency on.
Yeah. You do, and you do hear
Takes
about
all
it.
that away. Takes all that away.
Oh my god! I just
What's tickled your fancy?
Oh no, I just find it hilarious that people would do something like that. You know, that's a thing.
What is it about? They're so desperate to win,
It's
right? That they have to fudge a dice roll.
The only thing that
it's
gets
weird.
me, the only thing that gets me on the entire thing is basically you're not making money on this, so it's fun. It's enjoying the game as much as you can in whichever way you can. But as soon as you hear someone trying to do that, just why are you doing that? What do you think you're going to benefit from it? And that's I'm just, well, as soon as I hear it, I can't help but laugh. I'm just like, come on, lads, like, do you know? So
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
But no, I'm looking for.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, but no, like, getting back to the point, I'm looking forward to meeting up and being in a group of us and everything like this. I was going to say, as much as you're slating it, I do definitely think you have a completely different approach to what some of these adders were like, be it very beginner orientated, very let's help each other, let's all get into it together. You know, I'm coming back again, and I'm not the new person anymore. I played a few games of it, but still, I feel I'm in an environment where I'm going to be able to get help. When I'm there at the tournament, I'm going to be with people who are going to want to support me. And I'm looking forward to, again, I really enjoyed watching other people and how other people are doing and being able to support other people. So soon, like, there's going to be so many people to be watching, and especially over 2 days, I think it'll be really interesting to see how it goes, like, and see how people have done.
Yeah.
And just,
We need like nomad sticker badges with your name on.
Like at a reunion. Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Is that a yes then? I'll bring some stickers.
Well, we're going to try and wrangle. I'm not sure when we're going to do it. We're going to try and wrangle everybody to outside in front of the Rhino for a Nomads group photo.
Is there a Rhino out there?
Yeah, the fucking tank, you dickhead.
I thought, when did they change the giraffe out for a rhino?
You know, they've actually taken Titus out of the front and put a rhino in now. I'm looking forward to seeing Titus as well, though.
Oh shit! Yeah, fucking too right. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm convinced that I already know this far in advance that we're going to take that picture, and like 6 hours later when we're back, like at Airbnb, be like, "Oh, fuck!
Oh, we forgot.
So and so's missing out of that picture." I just know it. There's just too many people to try and wrangle, but we're going to do his absolute best to get everybody who's been supporting Nomads and is looking forward to meeting up in a group this weekend. So if you are listening, Nomads, if I do put in any of the chats that we're meeting up out the Rhino, not the giraffe, outside at a certain time, that is for the picture. And if you're not there, you might miss out on being in the picture. We want to get everybody in to show just how many people are loving Nomads at minute, and meeting up with other Nomads at events and things like that. It's going to be exciting. I know that much.
Yeah.
And we've got a shit ton of stuff to dish out, haven't we, Gary? We've got.
Have you got it with you?
One moment, caller, as Gary would say.
Well, mine's all packed.
Let me have a look. What have we got here?
I'll tell you what I do have. I do have my own available though, so I could.
Oh,
nice.
Let's have a look. Let's have a see.
So how did all of this happen then? What happened? Why did we start to do a little bit of?
For those who aren't watching, Baz and Gary are slowly dropping their trousers. Nice.
We got some slam mats as well. I can't wait to get my hands on them, Gary. They fucking hell, that sounds really weird if Steve's telling people you've dropped your pants. I can't wait to get my hands on them.
Oh, Gary, I can't wait for them.
So we got some slam mats, we got some Knuffles,
Tell you what, they've got a bit of give.
Have they?
Yeah.
And to be fair, all of these, they've got a bit of give.
I'm trying my hardest not to say inappropriate stuff. Like, you know, just thumb it in. No.
Oh.
Hey, what's those 2 round things you've got in your hand?
So, funnily enough,
They look like poker chips. What are they?
they are indeed. We've got some custom Nomads poker chips that are intended to be used as ball tokens or any other sort of marker or token. Sadly, all but 2 of these are actually already belong to Nomads, including you, Steve. One of these is yours. We've only got 2 of these left. The
But
slam
it's fine,
mats have
because how many of these have we got left?
0.
Ah. So basically, this is us just going, yeah, we got some merch.
Yeah,
Nah.
look what we've got, and you fucking missed out.
But we are ordering some more, aren't we?
We certainly will. We certainly will.
Are we toying with maybe a run of dice, maybe?
Well, not to go into too much detail, Gary, you know what I'm on about, but it's a matter of where at minute. Without it costing too much. Where from?
Yeah.
Without going, into detail about anybody. But yeah, it's. I would definitely love some dice. It's just that all the affordable options and places to get custom dice, they all do printed dice instead of engraved dice, and they look shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they don't look
if you
very
look at
nice.
the NAF dice, I think their NAF shield is printed, but it's a good quality print.
Yeah.
But the other sides are all etched. Not etched. They're lasered, so they've got like hollows. They're concaved with ink in them, so they're like really really good quality dice. There you go, what's he got?
I know. I'm just getting my NAF.
Got?
Oh no, I'm just getting my NAF dice out to have a look at it. So, but yeah, right.
Yeah.
It is just printed. It's just printed on. It is
Printed on the number 6, but the other ones are actually, I think they're probably drilled in or
no, they're
painted.
Yeah, they're proper in there. So, but yeah,
rather than printed numbers or dots.
Steve's ordered is send some dice specifically for this weekend, haven't you, Steve?
I have. I've ordered some Baron of Dice, and hopefully they should be landing with me tomorrow. So I'll be basically every day as well. I'm posting all my updates of getting ready for this for the Full Beard Cup on my Instagram and TikTok. So every day I'm posting what I'm doing. I should have some t-shirts coming. I should have the dice coming. I should have other bits and pieces, and hopefully have a finished.
What's your Instagram? What do they call them for the uninitiated 50-plussers of us?
So I
handle?
am at my handle. Yes, my not the one in your pants. No, my handle is at when I can hobby. So
when I can hobby.
When I can hobby. So that's my handle on TikTok and my handle on Instagram. And yeah, I'm doing a countdown. I'm just going through everything I'm doing. I'll be chatting about this podcast as well. Hopefully get some more people over having a listen tomorrow when this goes live.
Fantastic.
And yeah, so yeah, I've got Baron of Dice, and then I've got those dice hopefully to land. I've got t-shirts coming, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be spending the next couple of hours this evening painting and showing the progress later on.
That's mad. That's on it. It couldn't be me. That's mad.
I know.
Painting this week.
I couldn't do that.
It's the first tournament I haven't. And that's only because the last tournament I was probably painting. But this is the first tournament I haven't been painting the week beforehand.
I'm literally
no, not for me. That
no.
I've planned everything for painting wise, so hoping I can get it done in time, so I can actually play on Friday. Or otherwise, worst case, we're going to be playing, and I'm going to be up late or up early, finishing off in the morning. But I hope.
Did you see the Full Beard Cup channel in the Nomads earlier about one of the guys who was also painting this week and was hoping to get stuff done and found out that his little toddler had actually got a 2-week half term rather than the 1 week that he thought that she'd had, and we suggested that what we do is just bring a pile of paintbrushes and your paints, and what we'll do is we'll get a little Nomads production line on Friday night in Bugman's.
Yeah.
But then Baz posted a picture of what it might end up like. So you don't want to be in that situation.
No.
God, no.
I should be good. Yeah, I mean they're there. I've got to get the red and the brown on tonight. So I got to get those ones. I got all the black done and all the shading and stuff. So it's the first time I've ever done like blending and all this kind of stuff and not painted like that before. So
Jesus.
it was actually okay. But we'll see. We'll see. I think I'll turn up. I'll just red eyes and just fall asleep on the first day.
Immediately concede your first game because you've fallen asleep.
Just falling asleep on the table, like, you know. So yeah.
Oh dear me, that's brilliant.
And the three of us are actually staying in the same Airbnb, aren't we? So
we are indeed.
It's going to be dangerous.
Well, indeed.
Poor Brian.
Oh God, yeah, poor Brian.
So,
And Callum.
Yeah, Callum's staying and Brian's staying, and then I think there's another B&B, and there's a few people in hotels, and yeah, it's going to be a bit mad.
there's quite a few people.
We might get to a point.
Oh,
Go on, Steve.
I was saying there's quite a few people who came in last minute, wasn't there? There's a couple of tickets got up for resale, wasn't there? There's two guys came in last minute, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we got Rory. Rory's joining us now. We got Ed as well, aren't we? Joining us, Gary.
Nice.
So yeah, I might have counted it wrong. We might even be up to 15 nomads in attendance.
We might be up to 15.
It's
Yeah, I think there was somebody this week. Was it not Mike? There was a chap this week, and I apologise profusely because I'm awful with names. But I think he joined this week and said he'd heard the pod last week, had managed to pick up a ticket. Do you know him? Do you know who I'm on about?
Was his name Stuart?
Possibly.
I think it might have been Stuart. Oh, that's probably fucking wrong as well, you know. So
Yeah.
double apologies.
Yeah, so Bob, we're really sorry.
Yes. We look forward to seeing you there, Derek.
I'll buy you a pint for forgetting your name. Me and Steve will be at the bar waiting for Baz to buy you that pint, so we can buy us a pint as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can't buy Steve one.
Oh, he doesn't drink.
No.
Two then.
Brilliant.
No.
Brilliant.
So, that'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good fun. And yeah.
We're not very serious about Blood Bowl, are we? And, well, we are serious about Blood Bowl, but it's more about having a laugh in it for us.
Oh yeah, every time. God, yeah.
I know. I literally.
Steve's.
My signal's horrendous at the moment, so I've been cutting.
No, I thought you were going to disagree. I thought you were going to say, well, actually, no, Gary, it's really serious for me, don't you know?
I play to win. I play for nothing else, and I'm actually very disappointed. And you and me are going to be having a word on Friday night, and we're going to sort that attitude out. Like, you know, I'm not going in there with no quitters, no part timers. I'm going in there with someone thinking they're going to lose. No, we're in this to win. Nomads are taking the top tables. No, it is literally
Magnami.
Yeah. No, just in there to have fun because what's the point? What's the point otherwise? To me, like, it's a weekend. I'm looking forward to having a weekend away, to be absolutely honest, and that's, you know, just being very simple. Just a weekend away, throwing dice and having a laugh.
I'll tell you what the point is. Because I really like winning. And that's just me being honest. I've admitted it before. I do have a significantly worse time if I don't win. But I lose regularly, so.
So what is this? What is this winning thing you're talking about?
Yeah, I've never
don't you
experienced
start
it yet.
because you've had a couple of wins recently, Gary. Even though you got your wooden spoon.
I tell you what.
I'll take the wooden spoon with gladly.
I tell you what will be interesting is if we do end up playing against each other, because there's a fair chance that's going to happen, isn't there? A nomad playing against a nomad.
So yeah, nomads are going to play each other at some point. Gary, tell us the statistics, my friend.
You really need me to work this out. Well, if there is 80 people and there's 40 games, the chances of every nomad being in, I don't know, 1 in 2 every round?
I don't know.
Have you already worked it out?
Have a fuck.
No. I reckon it's about 1 in 2, isn't it? If there's 15 nomads there, and there's 14 tables, and they're all on different tables. Well, so I suppose you'd have to work out the chances of all 14 being on different tables out of the 20, and then you've got one person, the 15th person, has got a 6 in 20 chance of missing another nomad.
I thought
So it's got to happen. It's got to happen because you're going to have the first one will sit down at a table. The second one will be drawn randomly, and he will have a 14, 30, 65, a 65 to 15 chance.
I really thought we were going to blow your processors then, Gary, if I'm honest with you.
Did you?
I could hear the dial-up noise.
I wasn't even expecting it at all. I was like, I felt like a Commodore 64 loading.
Oh.
we know Rampack.
I'm going to have to work that out now. You know, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
That's fine. You deserve it because you've finished work already for the week.
I'm going to work that out.
No, I can't. I don't think you mentioned it here. That Gary's off for the whole week, or have we said that Gary's off for the whole week now?
Yeah,
I'm off. I'm off. I finished at lunchtime today. I had a good chat with my boss today. Finished at lunchtime. Done a bit of work this afternoon. I've actually just finished off a little bit of work just while we were just starting. So apologies if I looked like I was distracted. I'm done.
That is so fucking rude, Gary.
Just fucking. You know, we give our evenings over, and you're there, like cut you open, and you work to the bone, like, you know.
I am a little bit like that, unfortunately. I did get told off by my boss today for I needed to just make sure I got a proper work-life balance and all that rubbish. But I've definitely got one this week.
Oh yeah.
You've got a negative one. You've got no work all life.
No work all week for 6 days. It's brilliant. Can't wait. So yeah, we're going up to South Wales to do a bit of board gaming and D&D and Blood Bowl in a cottage in South Wales. A few of us. Nice. And then 2 of those people are going up to Warhammer World on Friday, picking somebody up en route.
That's not too far. Then.
So let me get this straight. You could say that you and Brian this week are cottaging.
Yeah. What's so funny?
Cottaging.
Do you not know? Do you know?
This reminds me of that Peter Kay sketch in the car when it goes about dogging. We're going dogging. She goes, dogging, walking your dogs. No, I can guarantee you that there will be a cottage, but there will be no cottaging.
Oh dear. Oh
Brilliant.
God.
Brilliant.
I reckon.
Well, yeah, that's only because Brian doesn't really like physical touch from you, Gary.
I do try and put my hand on his knee occasionally, and he does recoil quite badly. Should we be talking about this in public?
No, let's leave it there.
Do you know when you think that you've been on a podcast, right, and you've recorded the podcast, and you think, bloody hell, we really scraped the barrel that time, and you think there's no way we're going to be any worse than that, and then you get to this one. How do we keep doing it every week? Every single week, we keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into this silliness.
I think what we're hoping is that we do it so far, we get too far into it that people stop listening because it's that bad, and we don't have to keep up with it anymore. Maybe that's secretly what we're hoping for, Gary.
Absolutely. I have got something else to completely change the subject. I've got something else that we should really talk about this week. We've talked about it. It feels like we talk about it every single pod. Another star player.
Another one.
Yeah. Yes.
What the actual?
Another one. Jeremiah Cool.
He's expensive, isn't he, for an Elfie?
He's very expensive. Very expensive. 320k is ridiculous.
But we think, don't we? There is something behind all these star players.
Well, yeah, to be fair, I'd not even put two and two together, but when we were speaking about it in Nomads earlier, Alistair very cleverly mentioned that the fact that we've had
A few
a
other
start...
people had as well.
I'd not seen any others. I'd only
Yeah.
seen Alistair's comment, so apologies if I've left anybody else who beat Alistair to it, but I'd only seen Alistair's. But he very rightly pointed out that we've had a new star player every week for about 5 or 6 weeks, if you include the ones from the Chaos Dwarves, which is unusual for in
Only
such
they were
quick
all written
succession.
down in a book.
Well, that's what Alistair mentioned, that he reckons that they're getting them all out so that they're all in the new almanac.
That was the only
Christmas
thing,
time.
wasn't it? There wasn't enough content. They needed more star players, maybe, and they've gone. You know what? Let's get that out. If they could get that out for Christmas, they'll sell that. No problem at all.
Oh god, yeah, I'll buy it. Even if there's not anything in it that I need, I'll just buy it because I like owning Blood Bowl books.
Yeah, I would. I'll
Simple
tell you
as
what,
that.
I'd absolutely love though. I'd love an updated rule book. Desperate for it. It's top on my
Gary,
list.
we say that every bloody week, and they're not
Yeah.
listening to us. They're just not
I'm
listening.
desperate.
I think you should
There you
just throw some tables about the place or something on Friday when we get there. Like, make it happen.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go into exhibition and fucking swan
Man
dive
to see
off
the
of that
CEO.
balcony.
So how did you do at tournament 000? Got kicked out before it even started. But we may be getting a new rule book.
They heard us. Spent a night in the cells for assaulting the CEO.
Brilliant.
I'll
Brilliant.
tell you something as well that we haven't talked about is didn't a few weeks ago Games Workshop shut down?
Yeah, Warhammer World shut down, didn't it? Completely.
Did they do refurb or was it just like a deep clean?
I could not tell you.
Imagine if we get there and it's all sparkly and new and
I
and a
could not
different
tell
theme.
you. I know that not the closure you're on about, but about a month or two prior to that, specifically Bugman's was shut down for a bit because they refurbed
private
all the kitchen.
Oh right, okay.
So I'm not sure what the most recent closure was, but yeah, the most recent one was the entire place were closed for like 6 days.
Yeah.
So
Do you reckon
interesting.
they do weddings there?
I don't think they do, but I bet they get asked loads. Surely,
Yeah.
maybe they do.
I would no. The wife would not.
Would yours pass? Mine
Oh
wouldn't.
God, no,
No, mine
Jesus, no. No, and I wouldn't expect it to do, if I'm totally honest with you. Yeah,
wouldn't. You'd be
definitely
chuffed
not.
if she said yes.
Yeah,
She said if your wedding venue for next year has shut down and gone bankrupt, and you said, look, I've got an idea. The boys were talking, and she said, yeah, I'm up for that. Would you do it?
Yeah.
Funny you should say that.
Oh God. Yeah, I probably would. To be fair, yeah, probably.
Reception in Bugman's.
Yeah. Sevens tournament for entertainment. Oh dear me. And you get as much as you want out at shop without having to pay.
Oh God, imagine.
Yeah, instead of putting money behind bar, I'll put money behind shop.
Everyone gets to leave with a box.
Ah, dear me. Brilliant. God, imagine. I bet if they haven't, maybe they do accept them, and I'm just being silly. Maybe they do, but if they don't, I guarantee they get asked all the time. Definitely.
You two are both into other stuff, though, aren't you? As well as Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
So I'm not into any of the like Warhammer World is all about Space Marines, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's huge. But
Yeah.
for me, it just doesn't resonate with me at all. Any of that. I think the only thing that potentially does is the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
The fantasy stuff because of Dungeons and Dragons and a bit of RPGing.
I'm looking forward to the new
but
one the new board, the new set of that coming out.
Yeah,
That's
I've
gonna be
heard,
good.
Steve, you're into that, aren't you, in a big way?
I am. I do like my middleware battle strategy game, which is just it's Lord of the Rings. Shut up! It's just they gave it a new name, middleware battle strategy, just because they include a Hobbit, but everyone just knows that it's Lord of the Rings, so it's Lord of the Rings.
I will die before I call it Mesbug.
Mesbug Booker.
Ridiculous,
Battle
absolutely
companies.
ridiculous.
Yeah, so I played a couple of games about 6 weeks ago, Steve.
Oh, nice.
Mesbug Booker. 600 teams there were.
Nice.
And I just had a whale of a time. It was brilliant. It's really, really good. So I think it's something I'll do again, but I don't know if I could start investing in it.
It's to me, it's just a really easy pickup game, and because it's relatively cheap to get into. It depends now what's it going to be like once it all gets redone, but it is relatively cheap, and it's a community that keep it going. Like NAF kept Blood Bowl going. It's that kind of. It's those people who play that game. Like they're not in it. There's no, there's nothing monetarily behind it per se. Like everyone who wants to do it.
Is the people that play whatever we're going to call it, are they more? I'm assuming they're probably a lot more serious than Blood Bowl players.
I've not had a serious interaction with it. I've always had just having fun with it. I've not had a serious interaction.
Oh, you haven't gone to any of these like big tournaments or anything like that?
No. So no, I've done a lot of battle companies and I've done small games, but I've not gone anything big, but all of it's been fun. And because you've watched the movies, you've read the books. Some people, not me, but I got confused by big words like Lord and Rings. But yeah, they're the only ones I understood. But yeah, no, but apart from that, you play quite cinematically, and it's an easy game to play. It's very easy to pick up. And
it is. I found it easy to pick up.
And and you again just having fun because you've seen it all play out before, so you have fun with it. You do silly things with it, and yeah, I've not experienced serious play unless you have, but no, I haven't yet.
No, I'm just making an assumption, maybe a totally wrong one.
So I mean, they're a community that love it. They are a community that care. But they've kept it going. It's funny, it's mixed reactions about the new one coming out and mixed reactions on what's going to happen. Lots of people don't change the rules, balance some things up a bit, but don't change the rules much is the kind of the view that people have. They have said there's going to be some changes to the rules. I just hope it's nothing serious, hopefully it's something small, because the game just plays. It just works, so.
You can't please all the people all the time, can you?
Oh God, no! But but silly things that they're doing, I can go on tangents. Like they're releasing a new rule book for miniatures, and now they're releasing a new game. And they're like, by the way, once you get to that new book for those other miniatures, there'll be an update sheet which you'll buy into. You'll get 2 months later after you spent all the money on that other rule book. So it's a bit of a silly thing on there. But yeah, it's all good.
Here's one for you.
Oh, go on.
Which races in that don't already exist in Blood Bowl would you like to see get a Blood Bowl team from Lord of the Rings?
Not Yorkshireman.
From Lord of the Rings? Fucking hell. Gandalf didn't pull up and...
Ring was in Lord of the Rings.
He didn't pull up and say, "Hey up, Bilbo lad, make us a pot of tea, will they?"
Tin, tin, tin.
Where you put that ring? Tin, tin, tin.
Which races?
Oh, I think Urukai would be pretty strong. I think they'd be pretty interesting to see because they can get Urukai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those guys because they can run around a bit,
Yeah.
Can you imagine a whole bunch of Smeagol's?
Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. You could have. What about an Army of the Dead Blood Bowl team?
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting to see.
That'd be pretty cool.
The Dead of Donaro.
What they called Treebeard was a treeman, was he, or were they called something else?
Ents.
Ents. That's what they were. Ents.
That would be a good
Oh
one.
God, what else? I don't care. I don't know what team it'd fit in with, but somebody's got to have a fucking Balrog as a big guy.
You could just have a Lord of the Rings team, couldn't you?
A spider team, Shelob and a babies.
Ooh. When you play
Spider
Lord of the
team.
Rings, they're nasty. They are. Those guys are nasty when you play with them. Just trying to think.
There is a whole bunch of goblins, but there's a whole bunch of just outside of Lord of the Rings. There's a whole bunch of things that it could be endless, couldn't it? Blood Bowl.
Oh God, yeah.
But it's in the fantasy setting, isn't it? So just anything fantasy comes into it. Like,
I don't know much about the lore of Blood Bowl.
I'd love a Space Marine team.
Would you?
Can you? It could be as unofficial as Slan, and you could explain it lore-wise that a warp rift opened up and they ended up in wrong universe. Fucking brilliant.
Space Marine team. No weapons, just.
oh yeah,
hard.
no weapons, but they're just playing Blood Bowl. For the
So what would they
Emperor.
be like? A Black Orc team? What would their little stunties be?
Servo skulls, Steve,
Oh yeah, that would work.
or servitors.
Yeah.
What else?
I'm really glad I asked.
I'm just trying to think.
Oh God, that's I might have to homebrew one of them. Well, I did before, but I never finished it. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'm just having a look around and just seeing what else I would put in there. Could you imagine like Star Wars, like Ewoks?
Well,
There's an Ewok team.
well, it's a proxy team for. Is it for gnomes, Gary?
I don't know what it's for, but
Yeah, there's a team that looks
it's
like Ewoks that's meant to be played as gnomes or halflings. One of the
they've got
two.
little sort of scout walker, haven't they? As a big guy.
Yeah,
but
a tree house.
The best team out there though would be a Biscuits team.
Biscuits team.
Biscuit team.
We've come full circle.
Every single time. The Biscuit
So
team.
what do we think now that we've had this episode? Right, what do we think is going to be where are we going to go with Biscuits? Are we going to drop it? Biscuit World Cup.
No, Biscuit World Cup all the way. I think.
I'm
I think you got to have
fully in.
Everyone's got to kind of put like in a shout for their biscuit. Like we can pick.
So we need biscuits in the comments then, don't we?
Yeah, we need biscuits.
What biscuits? Need to go in.
And
totally not Blood Bowl related, but anybody. Oh God, here we go. He's had an idea.
Either that or straight.
If there are biscuits that we can't readily get hold of, and you want them to be in there, then you need to send them to us so we can try them.
I mean, the only way we're going to be able to talk with any clarity, knowledge, or anything about it is to actually have the biscuits in hand.
Could you imagine, right, having what would he call it? Biscuit corner. We can have a little corner of the podcast called Biscuit Corner.
Biscuit Bowl.
Biscuit bowl. And we could get the random numbers of the drawers out of a bowl. Number 4 will play number 27.
It's like a fucking Champions League draw.
Can't wait.
The only thing I ask in the comments when people comment biscuits, they've got to give a description as to why they think it is that biscuit. They've got to give a bit of backing,
Okay.
something to help us with, like because some biscuits we won't know. So unless they send it to
this is the qualifiers. This is the qualifiers for Biscuit World Cup. You've got to put a comment of the biscuit and why you think it deserves to qualify for World Cup. So if you want your biscuit mentioned in the Biscuit Bowl segment at next episode.
2024 Biscuit World, the Nomads Biscuit World Cup. Is it Nomads or is it All or Nuffle? Who sponsors it?
Oh,
in partnership
Sponsored
with both.
by Accurist. Get Black Hawk Down and Charlie Victor to sponsor us.
Yeah, definitely. So whatever your biscuit, like Gary says, if we've not heard of it, you better send us a pack each because we can't possibly sit here and talk about it and not know anything about them. Definitely.
So come on then, let's look. What biscuits have we heard of? We've got all the digestives, the rich teas, the bourbons, the custard creams,
the hobnobs,
foxes,
the pink wafers.
Hobnobs. Oh,
Hobnobs. Oh, who was it? Who was the comedian who said the Hobnobs like the commando or the SAS of biscuits?
Royal
like, you know,
Marine.
yeah, just like, dunk me again, dunk me.
It's never going to get soggy on you, that one.
No. Just trying to think.
So what about the ones that are wrapped up in green foil? What are they called? Viscounts?
Viscount.
Love
Love a Viscount.
Love a
What about-
Viscount?
what are
Party
those
rings.
Fuck party rings off. They hurt my teeth.
But it ain't no party
I don't
without
like a
party
party
rings.
But they've got to be in the World Cup, haven't they? You've got to make
gotta
it
be-
to the first round.
Hell.
What does
Yeah,
Kimberly...
and they're getting knocked out straight away by whatever they're against.
What
They're
would you
awful.
do if it was party rings versus Garibaldi?
0-0 draw, both out.
Whoever else is next just gets to go through because he's not going to insult him, like, you know, playing against one of those two. What are those tea? Was it tea cakes? The marshmallow tea. Those ones.
I don't know if that's a biscuit though.
Yeah. It's not a cake.
It's more like an hors d'oeuvre.
Jaffa cake.
Oh, yeah, Jaffa cake.
It's not a biscuit.
It's not technically not a biscuit, and I wouldn't ever dunk it in my tea either. But I do love them.
Does it? Well, we're gonna have to ask the comments, people in the comments, to say whether or not a Jaffa cake should make it through qualification.
We're gonna have to draft up some rules and regs here, I think.
Yeah, I think we'll take a long time doing that over a pint at the weekend.
I'll bring my laptop.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted. We'll have a draft. So what did you succeed? Well, we got kicked out. We didn't play any games. There might be a new rule book, but we know about the Biscuit World Cup.
Absolutely. And if we all lose every single game, but we have figured out the structure for the Biscuit Bowl World Cup, it's the weekend's a win.
I've got a bit of a problem.
Oh, no.
How many biscuits do we think are going to be in the World Cup? About.
How many? Well, how many is in the World Cup? How much is in the football World Cup?
Let's just say 32, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 32, right? So that's a round of 32 to get it down to 16, right? So that's 16 games. And then a round of 16. And then you're going to have a round of 8 quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you're going to have a semi-finals. And then you're going to have a final. So you're going to have 31 games. Are we going to do 31 pods this year?
Well, what about if we do 2 matchups per episode?
Even then, we might have to just draw out 4 and say which one goes through to the next round.
You think?
Well, no, yeah, no. I think
we'll have to sit and talk about it over a beer.
I think you have to do the tables, don't you? You have to have the pools, and yet we have to go through the 4 in the pool and pick the best one to go through the first 2. Like, you know, kind of do that to go through the first lot, so we can go through.
And we can maybe rescue all of the second places.
Yeah,
you know, maybe get 2 from the second places to go through.
Yeah. The best performing second places, yeah.
And then we can go through the final rounds of it then. So I think that's.
And are we going to make it so that tier 1 biscuits can't meet tier 1 biscuits, or are we going to just are we not going to seed? Are we just going to randomly pick them?
Random,
because
chocolate digestive against the chocolate hobnob. Ooh, that's going to be tough to call.
I know what answer is, but I'm not saying it. We'll wait for it to happen.
Okay. I think I'm getting more excited about this than I am a full beard cup at the weekend.
You can imagine Gary turns up with a suitcase of biscuits. Everyone's there playing in the hall, and we're just in Bugman's.
What are they called? The assortment.
Yeah.
Are you on about the family circle? Gary?
Yeah.
Family circle.
We're just sat in Bugman's with a family circle going between it, like, you know. You got people in the hall telling us to be quiet because we're making too much noise. That's a fucking biscuit.
Us screaming us fucking heads off because a fucking Garibaldi's just beat a fucking fig roll.
Oh, no. We're never ever gonna. This isn't ever gonna take off this podcast, is it? It's never gonna. We're never gonna get to like thousands and millions of people. ever.
Oh,
could you
God.
imagine? This is what makes it famous, the biscuit.
Could you imagine, right? Oh my God, I can't believe the biscuit episode was the best one.
The biscuit bowl.
Biscuit
The
bowl.
one episode where we don't actually talk about the subject that the podcast's meant to be about, and it like gets millions of listens.
And I think what we should do is get a whole bunch of blank keys, put numbers on them, and we'll say, let's put the keys in the bowl.
I'm not coaching.
Biscuit swinging, baby.
Oh, I think I need to take a week off.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
Put your trousers back on. Put your trousers back on.
I'm not coming this weekend. He's gone. Gary's gone. Jesus.
I apologise.
That was the beginning and the end of
My
the.
inappropriateness.
Oh. And on that note, guys, thank you very much for listening.
What the actual fuck has just happened?
We went from organising a friendly tournament amongst biscuits to say that we're going to start shagging each other.
Oh dear.
You can just see the follower count just skyrocket.
Can we stop that, please?
A fucking Garibaldi hanging out at back of a fig roll.
Has any of us been drinking?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I've given myself a right tension headache. Oh, Christ. Oh,
Really
Jesus.
good. That's, if you could.
So if you're still here with us,
Oh.
Gary's disappeared.
Right, let's try this. It's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. Gary, are you alive?
Oh God.
Oh. He's gone again.
This much.
He's gone again. Oh.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry to everybody who's listening. This has taken 5 minutes longer than it needed to.
Oh, right, okay. I'm going to try and sign us off, Gary. Can you behave? Yep. Oh, thank you very much for listening, everybody. Oh, thank you very much for listening, everybody, to another episode of All or Nuffle. We'll do another episode next week, or maybe even the week after, letting you know how we got on at the Full Beard Cup. And hopefully by then, we'll have some solid plans on Biscuit Bowl. So don't forget, if you want to submit a biscuit for qualification, let us know in comments. And thank you very much for listening. I'm gonna have to end the recording now before Gary has an aneurysm. Night, guys.
Night.